Media.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm here again. Still dealing with a little bit of COVID issues, but I'm getting better.
Yeah, that's what we sound like tonight, folks. That's what Ricky's he's powering through with the COVID. He's drinking his water. No milk tonight.
No
milk.
Alternating between Sprite and milk. Sprite and water, sorry.
Sprite and water. Look, Trisha Arnold was here early.
Yeah.
We were in the studio. Ricky was pulling flyers, and I was like, we're already getting comments. We're not even live yet. We were late tonight, though.
Yeah. My fault. I'm getting there, Trisha. I'm getting there. It's just been, like I said, it's been a week now. But, I mean, I was telling Derek before the show, I never lost my sense of taste or sense of smell, and I'm not coughing too much, and my throat's finally not hurting now, finally. But I did find out before I was actually tested positive for COVID. I was positive for strep throat. So it's strep throat, and 2 days later, they said, oh, you got COVID too. I'm like, oh, great.
I think that your main problem has been strep.
Yeah.
Because it's been mostly your throat that's been the issue.
Yeah.
Like, I've been asking if you can take deep breaths and stuff, and you said that you haven't really had any issues breathing.
Yeah,
so
no issues with that.
I think the COVID was pretty mild. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but it seems like that strep kind of has you down. We got Andrea from Junction City, all the way from Brand. I almost called Brandon Smith by his comedy name. I better not do that on this show.
I'm going to try something real quick here. Layla Blue is saying, what's the topic? I'm confused. We're talking about missing persons and unsolved homicides, but we're kind of getting caught up on the last week, because we didn't do a show last week because of me and my COVID. So
we got North Carolina in the house. My buddy Wade from Vegas is in the house. Lori Hayes, our representative from Hayes, Kansas, is in the house. Double T's in the house.
Yeah.
Roxana Fisher Jackson down there in Southeast Oklahoma. Lansing, Kansas. I love it. Becky's down there.
Yeah.
She says Dub K316. I'm not sure what that means, but that sounds cool. Shout out to Back Home Media. What's up, Christopher Unruh? Double T says you look better. You do look better. I've been hanging out with you about an hour or two a night for the last couple of days. I got to be honest with you. I was worried about you, man.
Yeah, I was pretty rough the first few days, and it's just been kind of, I have moments when I feel better and moments when I feel rougher and moments when I feel better.
Yeah.
But I think I'm starting to slowly, hopefully, get out of this mess.
Right. Denise says, hope you're feeling better, Ricky. Remember, if you lose your voice, just let the other two talk to keep making faces at them. There we go. He says, your voice sounds better. Yeah. Mary's from Salina, Esmeralda, Wichita. Jason Pfeiffer, Victoria. Alicia Collins is in the house. Esther Unruh's in the house. Donda says, I lost my taste and smell a few weeks ago. I got it back fully Friday or Saturday. I've heard people lose it for a long time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm drinking lots of water and trying to keep myself hydrated.
Yeah, it's scary, man. And then Miltonville. Yeah, Wade Kite says drink lots of water. Double T says I was worried too, especially with his heart issues. Scared the hell out of me when I heard he had tested positive. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me and my mom were like, "Who's gonna make these flyers? If Ricky cannot check out right now, we need Ricky so much."
Oh, definitely need to stay inside the next few days. We're expecting like 6 inches or so of snow. So
yeah, so Ricky was off for the next few weeks, next few days anyway because of COVID. Yeah. So that's like the one blessing about the COVID is that Ricky doesn't have to be on the roads for the next few days. So
yeah, I actually took this week off as a vacation, and then I ended up getting COVID last week. So nice vacation.
There you go. Serves you right for trying to take some time off.
I know.
I saw some guys that lose their taste. I had one friend bite into an onion or an apple, and yeah, I've heard about that too. Pat Burt in Bennington. Nice.
Wow.
Well, we have a great show for you tonight. We're gonna try to make it the full hour. We're gonna go based off how Ricky feels tonight. So yeah, that's what he said. Can't even handle that thought. No, he's not going anywhere. Ricky's not going anywhere. He's got far too much work to do on this planet left. But yeah, we have a lot of coverage cases covered tonight, but we are gonna like kind of Kelsey Youngblood's in the house.
Yeah.
We are going to kind of just play it by ear tonight. If Ricky feels bad, we might pull out, but we'll see what we can do as far as getting you a full action-packed show tonight. But you're watching. What's that?
I'm hoping to make it.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do it. Well, you're watching the Kansas Missing Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after this.
If you or someone you know is thinking of running from home, has run away, or if you are a runaway ready to go back home, call 1-800-RUNAWAY. That's 1-800-786-2929.
Yeah, okay. We've actually done a flyer for this young man before, but he was found and missing again. Excuse me, his name is Ali Mohammed Salih. Missing from Wichita since January 25th of this year. He's 19, 6'2", 140 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Believed he may still be in Wichita or maybe up in Lincoln, Nebraska. Last known to be wearing a white coat, black sweats with Nike emblem going down the legs, black and gray Nike shoes. He was also carrying a backpack. If you have any information regarding Ali's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Wichita Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or KBI 785-296-4017.
And that's missing from Wichita, Kansas, January 25th, 2022.
I profusely apologize for how I'm sounding.
Oh, you're good. When was the last time you made a flyer for Ali?
Yeah, it's been a few months.
Okay. Well, Wichita, we got the numbers up on the screen. We got the police case number on the screen. We like to include those when we see those. Give those numbers a call if you've seen Ali, and let's try to bring Ali home.
Definitely.
I'm going to tell us about Malia. Give Ricky's voice a break real quick. This is Malia Rowland, missing from Kansas City, Kansas, since January 27th, 2022, and she is 15 years of age. She is 5'10" and weighs 180 pounds. Her hair is black and her eyes are brown. She is Malia Rowland is a missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Kansas City, Kansas on January 27th, 2022. It is believed that Malia may still be in the local Kansas City area, or she may be in the Lawrence, Kansas area. Malia is 15 years old. She is 5'10", 5 foot 10 inches tall, and weighs 180 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. Malia has multiple facial piercings. If you have any information regarding Malia's disappearance or if you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. 15 years old, pretty young to be, around Kansas City without somebody knowing where she is, the people that care about her knowing where she is. So if anybody in the area has seen Malia, definitely reach out to the numbers we have posted on the screen.
Definitely. She's a pretty big gal for being 15, though. 5'10" at 15 years old.
She's tall.
Pretty tall gal.
Yeah, she's really tall. Let me go ahead and see who is next here. How you feeling, Ricky? You want to go through? You want to click on some of these comments while I'm going to read the flyers tonight, just so you can kind of take it easy.
All right. Marysville's in the house, and Andrea Vian says her internet's going in and out because of weather, so she'll try to watch.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the winter weather.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nasty.
That's probably why we have a lot of people watching, because everybody's snowed in right now, and there's no fun things happening right now in the state of Kansas. Everybody's freezing their butt off right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk about Daniela Harris. Daniela Herrera, missing. She is missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Everest, Kansas on January 26, 2022. It is believed that Daniela may be in the Atchison, Horton, Troy, or rural Kansas, Nebraska areas. Daniela is 16 years old. She is 5 foot 5 inches tall and weighs 130 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Daniela's disappearance, or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Brown County Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-742-7125 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. So she hasn't been missing long. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like they got a pretty broad area of where she might be, though. Maybe, I don't know where they're getting their info, but maybe it seems like they got a pretty broad area where they think she might be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the second time we've done a flyer for her.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she'd been located and she's missing again.
Well, hopefully we can get some resolutions on there. Alicia's sending prayers. Alicia Perez says, hope you were on the mend, Ricky. He's getting there.
Getting there.
Becky Shadden says, had it 3 weeks ago. One of my employees tested positive yesterday. My 6-year-old grandson has had it 3 times with strep.
Wow.
That's what Ricky's dealing with. He's got strep right now. I think the strep is probably what's doing the most damage if I'm gonna internet doctor him.
Fortunately, I think the strep's backing off because my throat doesn't hurt anymore. So that's a good thing.
Kaylee Ruth says, you guys changed my life. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm not sure
You're very welcome.
What we did, but whatever it was, I'm glad that we
did.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
Reach out to the page. Ricky would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what's going on with you. That's really awesome. I'm going to talk about Demaria Hurd. Now, Demaria Hurd is a missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Olathe, Kansas on January 21st, 2022. It is believed that Demaria is with Marissa Webber, who is also considered missing and endangered runaway and that they are still in the Olathe area. Demaria is 15 years old. She is 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighs 110 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Demaria's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Yeah, and we do have a flyer for Marissa Webber too.
Okay, and I'll actually drag up.
Took me a bit to get pictures for hers, but we finally did.
To get Marissa's picture?
Yeah.
Okay. How big is Olathe? I've never been there. I just can't imagine it being that big.
It's a suburb of Kansas City, so it's right outside of KC.
So it's probably plenty big.
I'm sure. Part of the metro area.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and all that. It's basically Kansas City. That's how I look at it. Like, I live in Phoenix, but if you go like 2 blocks over, they call it Peoria or Glendale or there's all these. They all have these. They're all different towns, but it's just Phoenix. It's just a big city of Phoenix. But yeah, I have some friends in the Olathe area, so we will talk about Marissa Webber next. Let me go ahead and get this flyer pulled real quick. It's going to take me just a second because I'm pulling these from the Facebook page. Yeah. When did you post yours?
My brother says that Olathe is a huge suburb of KC, population just over 140,000.
Jeez, yeah, I'm way off. I'm like, oh, it's just a little old thing. It's just a little old thing in the middle of nowhere. No, that's pretty big. Okay, so Marissa Webber is a missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Olathe, Kansas on January 22nd, 2022. It is believed that Marissa may be with Demaria Hurd, who is also missing, endangered runaway, and that they still may be in the Olathe area. Marissa is 16 years old. She is 5 foot 4 inches tall and weighs 115 pounds. She has light brown hair that was last known to be dyed brown with blonde highlights. She may change her hair color. She has brown eyes. If you have seen Marissa, please do not approach. Instead, use caution and immediately contact law enforcement. If you have any information regarding Marissa's disappearance or if you know of her whereabouts, please call the Olathe, Kansas Police Department at 913-782-0720 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678.
Right.
What is the so maybe you read this more often than I notice, but National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, what usually causes them to put that on a flyer? Because I don't really remember hearing that on a lot of other flyers.
I don't know if that just means they may turn aggressive if you try to approach them, or what that means exactly.
Okay, so they're just being cautious.
The pronunciation I was given was Demarie. Pronounced Demarie.
Laura Thomas says hello from Danville, originally from Lebo, Kansas. Hello from Danville. How you doing? I saw on a Dawn from Wichita. Alicia says it's pretty big. Olathe is huge. Oh, you already pulled that one. I couldn't be out by myself. I was scared, and you guys changed my life. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
That is awesome. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're feeling better. That's awesome. One of my sisters used to live in Scottsdale and Glensdale. Yeah, that's the nice part of the city, Trisha. That's where I want to live someday if I can just figure out those lottery numbers. I'm just kidding. Scottsdale's beautiful. I was there the other day, and I was just like, this place is nice. I have an uncle that lives in Overgard, Arizona. I love Arizona out here. Is she dangerous? Yeah, is she dangerous? That's what I was curious. Miss you guys, Kelly Uphold.
She might get aggressive or something. I don't know. That would be my first guess. Would be
Roxanne says last night a Kansas missing girl was found south of me in Texas with an older male who was taking her to sell in trafficking. He is in jail. The girl was taken to the hospital and will be traveling back to Kansas in a day or two. They did not give her name or age other than that she is a minor. Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure. I may know who that is, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to guess because I don't know for sure, but I have my suspicions.
Right. Okay. Let me go ahead and go up here. All right. We're going to cover this flyer. I just got to find it.
Glad she was found.
Yeah. I'm really glad she was found.
Yeah.
Is this Elise that we're doing next? Yeah, we are. Okay. So Elise Kimler, I'm horrible at reading tonight, is a missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Chanute, Kansas on January 26, 2022. It is believed that Elise may be with Blake Finch, who is also missing and endangered. Elise is 17 years old. She is 5'1" tall and weighs 98 pounds. She has blonde hair that was previously dyed red and now is bleach blonde, and green eyes. If you have any information regarding Elise's disappearance or if you know of her whereabouts, please call the Chanute, Kansas Police Department at 620-431-5768 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Yep, and I'm trying to get pictures of Blake Finch so I can get a flyer made for him. I'm working on it.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've had several people asking about it, whether they think it's one from the girl from Clay Center up there. I don't know for sure or not. I know the older guy that she was supposed to be with was, they were thinking they were either in Oklahoma or Texas. So, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I know that dude was on our most wanted list here in town, too.
Really?
Yep, he was on our January most wanted list. So hopefully they've got him, and hopefully they got him cuffed and stuffed.
Wow.
Where he needs to be. That's why a 41-year-old guy would be wanting to do anything with a 13-year-old girl. Just blows my brains.
Yeah. I just wrote a song about an experience.
I still gotta listen to that yet.
Of I found out somebody from my life was accused of that, and it's just I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you could do that. I just don't. It's just the whole thing's bad.
Yeah, no.
So this is something that Ricky posted today, and this is going to be an unsolved homicide. It's going to be Mariah Zamora and Alexis Cervantes Martinez. Now, this was January 17th, 2022 in Wichita, Kansas. Wichita police officers responded just before 9:30 p.m. to a shooting call at an apartment complex in the 2700 block of South Emporia. Callers reported hearing multiple gunshots and a loud crash. Officers arrived and found a vehicle that had crashed into a storage unit. The driver, 17-year-old Alexis Cervantes Martinez, and his passenger, 16-year-old Mariah Zamora, had been shot and were unresponsive. Alexis died at the scene, and Mariah was pronounced dead at the local hospital. Investigators learned that the two had come to the location to take part in a drug transaction that had been set up on social media. During the meeting, multiple shots were fired by a suspect, striking and fatally injuring both victims. No arrests have been made in Mariah and Alexis's death. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact WPD detectives at 316-268-4407 or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers by calling 316-267-2111. And I sound like a broken record on this show, Ricky, but I mean, if they were gonna ask me, okay, how are we gonna solve this, Derek? I would like look through their phones.
Yeah,
we'll find out who did it. Just look
that's
through
what I
their
was
phones.
thinking too. Was do a phone search.
Yeah, I mean, if they set up this drug deal online, look who they bought drugs from, and then go arrest them. Now, I understand police works a lot harder than that, and I'm not trying to diminish what they're doing. They're trying their best, but I mean, to me, it's just like if they know that, and that's the thing, they have to prove it. So maybe they're just putting this information out there to get more information to get proof, because you have to prove things. But I mean, this seems kind of open and shut to me. They made a deal with the devil on accident.
Yeah, that's just tragic. I mean, 16-year-old girl, 17-year-old guy. I mean, I don't know if they were out there trying to pick up weed or meth or what they were doing, but they didn't deserve to die either way.
No,
it's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
And not to get into a debate or anything, but earlier you and I were talking about that sheriff that you like, that's real anti-drug, and
Brady Judd down in Florida.
Yeah, my thinking is if drugs, and again, I'm not promoting anybody uses drugs. I'm saying if drugs weren't illegal to the point where it was a criminal activity, and these two didn't have to go meet somebody in a sketchy parking lot to get a drug. I mean, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different angles to the argument, and I just think that it's really sad that these two people are no longer alive. Right. That's a really sad situation. But go ahead and this says Becky Shadden says, my heart breaks for these young kiddos. Several years back, I found you guys and reached out with my friend. Her daughter was missing. You all made a flyer. She was found, but made no life changes and passed away a few weeks ago at the age of 19. Oh my gosh. I see and hear these stories and hate to this world that our babies live in. That is terrible.
That's tragic. I'm sad to hear that. I always hope and pray that after I'd make a flyer for somebody and they're found, that they realize there's people that care enough to help get them found, and they'll make the changes they need to make. I guess some just don't. That's sad.
Yeah. Alicia says, my heart breaks for these two. Double T says, oh my God, who shoots and kills two teenagers? No regard for human life whatsoever. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like one of the ones that Grady Judd was covering down there in Florida. He was talking about was a 16-year-old kid wanted some weed. So he got a hold of this guy and this gal that were selling it and met up with him, and she gives him the weed. He's, oh, by the way, I don't have any money. He tries taking off. So the other guy that brought the weed apparently shot him as he was running off, and I believe he killed him. I think he killed him.
Oh wow!
And he was like 20 something. The girl that got arrested in connection was 18.
Jeez.
Yeah. Kid wanted weed, but didn't have money to pay for it. So he paid for it with his life.
Jeez.
It's just terrible.
Well, I'm going to talk about Mackenzie Goodall. You just posted this one earlier today too.
Yeah, just updated her flyer because she just had her birthday back on the 22nd of this month, so she's now 14 instead of 13. So she's been gone a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I have thoughts about this, but I'm going to read the flyer first.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Goodall is a missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Wichita, Kansas, all the way back in July 30th of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It is believed that Mackenzie may be in either Wichita, Kansas area or Kansas City or Independence, Missouri area. At the time of her disappearance, Mackenzie was 13 years old. She is now 14. She is 5 foot 5 inches tall and weighs between 155 and 165 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Mackenzie's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9478 or 316-268-4111 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 6 months since she went missing. It's crazy. And if she is in Missouri by chance, then, somebody has had to help her get there, and somebody's got to be harboring her there.
My thing is, it's just every time and I don't know who's in charge of what, but I mean, to me, and it's not just Mackenzie, it's anybody that I see under the age of 14 or 13,
Mm.
To me, that just seems like a very young age.
Right.
Like, I understand, like, my mom and my dad were from a different time. They both were out of their parents' house by the time they were 16. And by all, arguments, you could say that they were a lot more adult than I was at 16. It was just a different time. But so I've heard of 16-year-old kids being like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and emancipate and do my own life and do whatever. I understand how a 16-year-old, but like 13, 14, I just don't see how it's not a bigger deal. I don't see why this doesn't have one of those beloved red boxes on it that has a reward, just like I think for everybody that's disappearing should have a reward. I just don't understand how Mackenzie Goodall could go missing this long ago, and like I don't think I've seen her on the news ever. Any of these, a lot of these kids you don't see, but again, I understand there's just a lot of missing people. But anyway, I just think that this is a long time.
I just wonder if somebody isn't harboring her, hiding her somewhere. Is what I'm wondering. I mean, 6 months. It's a long time.
Yeah. I hope if my 13-year-old goes missing that the world stops moving.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. I mean, that's all these children we see on here, that are missing, and all we can do is share the flyer.
And Alicia Collins says the longer person's gone makes me worry if they're safe and alive. I just stop thinking about that.
Yeah.
Can't stop thinking about what she meant. Yeah, she can't stop. It's a troublesome thought. I mean, 6 months without a word, without a trace, without a hint, without a clue, nothing. And Denise brings up a good point. Non-custodial parent might be harboring her. That's possible.
See, that's what I've wondered on this case. Is it a situation where Mackenzie was walking home from school and she was just missing one day? Or is it a situation where they kind of know where she is, but it's like a messy parental situation?
See, I don't know, because I remember when she first went missing, she had went missing with another girl, and that girl was found not too awful long after they went missing. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah. So young. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we're going to talk about Davian Broderick. Davian Broderick is a missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Kansas City, Kansas on January 25th, 2022. Davian is 15 years old, and he is 5 foot tall and weighs up between 100 and 110 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Davian's disappearance or if you know of his whereabouts, Please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. What was the reason for updating this flyer?
He just went missing again.
Okay, so I was gonna say we just covered.
Yeah, because if you recall, the last one he was missing from Ogden, Kansas. This one's Kansas City, Kansas. So,
wow.
Yeah.
He is making moves.
It's just a 12-year-old daughter, and it scares me out of the world. Just even with boys, most definitely. I've got a 15-year-old daughter and 17-year-old daughter, and makes me seriously concerned for both of them.
Yeah. Understood.
Slight correction there. My 15-year-old is actually identifying as a male, and I need to refer to him as a he, as a him.
You're going to need to work on that.
As he gets upset with me when I don't. So I need to make sure I'm doing better at that. So I need to try. I slip, and I don't mean to, but...
So we have several flyers that I don't have copies of that we're going to need to... You're going to need to send me, or we're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to read them or send them to me.
My brother's asking, does the other girl know where Mackenzie is? I honestly, I don't know. I haven't heard whether they had any idea where she is or not. It's a good question. I would hope they explored that option when they found her. Is, hey, do you know where she went? Do you know who she's with?
Right. Alicia Collins says, I have a 12-year-old daughter, and it scares me how the world is, even with my boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, there's some wackos out there. For real.
Kind of getting back to that Sheriff Grady Judd that I watched down there in Florida. I love his news conferences, man. He pulls no punches, and he does a lot of news conferences when they do their child trafficking stings and their prostitution stings and child predator stings and stuff like that. And I mean, he makes no bones about the fact that some of these guys, when they nail them for child porn, they have images of child porn of children as young as, some of them as young as infants, engaged in child porn. And I mean, it's male and female, both male and female.
I think it's like
it's ridiculous.
The only thing I can think of is that it has to be like some kind of sickness.
Must be.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of that would make somebody, I don't know. It's just awful. And I hate it. I hate it a lot. Now we're going to have some trouble.
Check this real quick. One guy that they busted in one of their stings, had the sting they set up is they have detectives go online and pose as, 13, 12, 14-year-old kids, whatever. And this one guy actually wanted to pay this 13-year-old girl's mom, or was it? Yeah, it was mom, $100 and a 6-pack of beer so he could have sex with her 13-year-old. $100 and a 6-pack of beer. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Ridiculous.
Well, I'm glad that they're being exposed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he shows their pictures and gives their names, where they work. I mean, he gives it all, man. I mean, he feels like they're going to do the crime. Everybody's going to know it.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff when you catch somebody in the act. And then, they're always all like, oh, I didn't mean it. You're like, what are you talking about? You're here. What are you talking about? Chris Hansen's like, what do you mean you weren't going to do anything with your backpack, you weirdo? Let's talk about Savannah Guyton real quick.
Okay.
Now, Savannah Guyton is missing and endangered runaway who went missing from Wichita, Kansas on January 28th, 2022 at about 8:15 p.m. Savannah was last seen in the area of Maple Ridge in Wichita. Savannah is 13 years old. She is 5'3" tall and weighs 130 pounds. She has red or auburn hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Savannah's disappearance, or if you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452, or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Yeah. I hope I can get her found safe and back to where she needs to be.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, some of these child predators just blow my mind.
What blows my mind is I know somebody who that was recently accused of that. And you would think as soon as the report was made, they'd send the SWAT team. You hope?
Think. Yeah.
But nothing happened. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's nothing really happens. If you want to be honest, man, nothing really happens. If you want to see how nothing really happens, look up your zip code and type in sex offenders and look at the map, and your city will look like a pepperoni pizza with all the perverts.
No, I mean, I do it periodically.
It's just terrible how it's like, why aren't they in a jail cell? It's like, well, I don't know, but just watch out for them. We told you about them. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
What are you talking about?
I was checking out last night on, I can't think of the name of the website now. I'll have to find it again. I think Shared Hope International, I think it was, looking at their nationwide report card on the states and how they fare against combating against human trafficking. And Florida has the highest grade out of the whole United States. Florida ranks, I think it was grade C. All the other states were D's and F's. Kansas was an F. And I was just like, okay, some stuff needs to seriously change.
I want to, such a sick world. Oh, sorry.
Tammy was asking about, do you have a missing girl from Shit? Yeah, we covered her just a little bit ago, actually. That would have been Elise Kimler. And again, I apologize for how I sound tonight. I was hoping to sound a lot better.
You're good. Hey, real quick, since this is a special show and we're kind of doing things on the fly, I have Ronald Howie and David Huffman's flyers. I don't have anybody else's, so if you want to work on sending me those for the rest of the ones we have, I can read those for the rest of the show. But I'm going to talk to you all about Ronald Howie. Now, Ronald Ron Howie went missing from Argentine, Kansas on October 30th, 2021. Ronald left a family member's home in Argentine, Kansas around midnight walking and hasn't been seen since. Ronald did not have a cell phone or a vehicle. Ron would often walk around Argentine to a friend's house if he didn't have a ride. Family said it's not like Ron to not contact family after this length of time. Ronald is 36 years old. He is 5'7" tall and weighs 150 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Ronald's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-573-8680 or 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And yeah, that's been a little while, man. October.
Yeah.
Considering he didn't have anything on him, just walked away from his house, like more than 2 days is sketchy. Where you're like, hey, Ronald's gone and he doesn't have any of his stuff. Like, that's 2 days is sketchy. This has been months. This is sketchy.
Right. Let's see. I just sent you 4 of them.
Okay, awesome. Here, I'll tell you what, Tammy. Oh, no, that's not it. Sorry. There we go. There's the flyer. I will put that back on the screen. We did go over it already. But there is the flyer. Chanute, Kansas, January 26, 2022, 17 years old, Elise Kimler. 5'1", 98 pounds, blonde hair, dyed, and then her eyes are green. If you have any information regarding Elise's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Chanute, Kansas Police Department at 620-431-5768 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And as you see, we do have the case number on the screen. So if anybody has any information, definitely contact those numbers.
And she's believed to be with a Blake Finch, which I'm trying to obtain photos of Blake Finch so I can get a flyer made for him.
Okay.
So hopefully we can get one or two. I do believe I found an Instagram for him, but it's set to private, so I can't see anything on it.
Okay. That might be somewhere where your son could help us. Look at Instagram accounts, because your son is way younger than we are and probably knows how to use Instagram. I don't. But yeah, you're right. A lot of these Instagram accounts, you can't see them unless you know these people. So let's go ahead and talk about David Huffman. Now, David Huffman went missing from Leavenworth, Kansas on December 24th, 2021. David was last seen at the Greyhound bus station in Kansas City, Missouri. David has medical issues and needs medication. At the time of his disappearance, David was 64 years old. He is now 65. He is 5'7" to 5'8" tall and weighs between 150 to 175 pounds. He has gray or partially gray hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding David's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Leavenworth, Kansas Police Department at 913-651-2260 or 913-682-4411 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And again, this is kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
You understand, like, young people, disappearing, sometimes they're not happy or something happens, that's why they have the whole endangered and missing, but anytime like an adult goes missing for this long, you're just like, what's going on?
Right. And I was told his weight's closer to like probably 130 to 150. He has an illness that keeps his weight down, but I used the 175 because KBI used the 175.
Okay, that's what KBI used.
So, yeah. And Casey Wilson's here and says that I don't understand people just vanish. Ronald Howie is her boyfriend and can't explain how painful it is not knowing where your loved one is. Yeah. I'm glad you joined us tonight, Casey. You should have all the remaining flyers now.
Okay.
And Sam, you're welcome for repeating.
Yeah.
Elise Kimmler's there. And again, if anybody has any access to photos of Blake Finch, let me know, please.
Kenny Wrightcheck went missing from Salina, Kansas on November 4th, 2019. Kenny sometimes uses the last name Brown. Kenny suffers from diminished mental health capabilities and is on disability, but has not tried to access the funds since he was last seen. He may have family in Northwest Kansas, possibly around Colby. Kenny was last seen at Gospel Mission in Salina. He left there and hasn't been seen or heard from since. Kenny does not have a phone, vehicle, or identification. At the time of his disappearance, Kenny was 69 years old. He is now 71 years old. He is 5'9" tall and weighs about 175 pounds. He has gray hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Kenny's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI at 785-296-4017.
Yeah. But still have people all the time asking me if I've heard anything on Kenny, and I still have not heard so much as a whisper on anything on Kenny. And I don't like that.
No.
I do not like that.
Ellen Dotson's in the house. Hey, Ellen.
From Leavenworth.
1 second. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about Stephanie Welch. Now, Stephanie Welch, missing from Lake, Kansas, missing from since February 28th, 2001. At the time of her disappearance, she was 23 years old. She would now be 44 years old. That is crazy. That is so long. Stephanie dropped her youngest son off at his daycare in Lake, Kansas at approximately 9:15 a.m. on February 28th, 2001. Earlier, she had dropped her older child off at preschool. Authorities believe that she drove back to the mobile home where she was preparing to vacate shortly afterwards. Stephanie may have returned to the property to remove some of her and her children's personal belongings. She has never been heard from again. Stephanie was engaged to Roy Moore in early 2001 and was planning to move out of her mobile home and into his house. She was driving his silver 1990 Mazda 625 at the time of her disappearance. Moore's vehicle was discovered abandoned in a private driveway of a mobile home park in southeast Lakin at approximately 11 a.m. Witnesses said that an unidentified man dressed in black walked away from the car shortly afterwards. Authorities do not believe Stephanie knew anyone inside the park and theorize that someone else drove Moore's car to the location. Her jacket and her wallet, which contained $500, were discovered on the floor seat of the vehicle. The wheel wells were covered in snow and mud from someone driving the car for miles before parking it in the driveway. Moore's picked up Stephanie's son from daycare, and after she failed to return by 6 p.m., he learned that his vehicle had been abandoned earlier in the day and reported Stephanie's disappearance later during the evening. An extensive search of the area produced no clues as to Stephanie's whereabouts. Investigators believe that she may have been murdered between the time she dropped off her son and the time Moore's vehicle was discovered. Authorities said that her remains could have been hidden in numerous locations. Several abandoned wells are scattered throughout the area. The man who was seen leaving the car is considered the prime suspect in her disappearance. If you have any information regarding Stephanie's disappearance or know of her whereabouts, please call the Kearney County Sheriff's Office at 620-355-6211 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know on that one.
Yeah.
I mean,
my brother said he didn't like that either. Something's not right in Kenny's case. And he also says Stephanie's case screams foul play.
My question is like Roy Moore, he doesn't think 6 o'clock. I mean, I don't know, man. Like maybe I am paranoid, but if I don't hear from my wife for like 4 or 5 hours, I assume she's dead. Not really, but I mean, I'm saying like pretty much. Like if I don't hear from my wife for like a while, I'll like call her, be like, "You okay?" You know what I'm saying? Like I just. Right. But then you also have to take consideration. This is February 28th, 2001. It wasn't like it is now. You don't have Messenger. You don't have, so it wasn't exactly like it is now. But the fact that he didn't report her missing till that night is a little suspicious. I mean, who doesn't pick their kid up from daycare? Like that's initial first sign something's going on here. Like you forget, you don't pick up your child. There's something going on. And then also like, your vehicle's missing all day. Wouldn't you? Like if my car was gone all day, I'd want to know where it was. I'd have questions. And Lakin's not that big.
Right.
I don't know. It just seems like a pretty drastic thing to happen for somebody to go missing, the car be parked, all the money in the wallet still be in the car. So obviously robbery was not a motive. To me, it just screams something personal was going on.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder if they've ever been able to ID that person that was seen walking away from the car.
Yeah. And again, where did they go? It's Lakin, Kansas.
Yeah.
It's Lincoln, you pass through that town.
Yep.
I don't know. Let me go ahead and we're going to talk about this now. Let me see.
We already did that one.
Oh, we already did that one? Oh, we did. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I think I pulled in a bunch of cases that we've already done. Hold on. We've done these all. So we can do Alexander Perez. There we go. All right. So Alexander J. Perez went missing from Ulysses, Kansas on December 1st, 2020. Alexander contacted a family member via telephone on December 1st and advised he would be coming to their home to wash clothing items. Alexander never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses. Alexander has not been heard from or seen by family or friends since this date. Alexander had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It is believed that Alexander may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City, Kansas, or surrounding areas. At the time of his disappearance, Alex was 35 years old. He is now 36 years old. He is 5'11" tall and weighs 235 pounds. He has black hair that she shaves nearly bald and brown eyes. Alexander has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He has Perez tattooed on one of his arms. He has a tattoo across a chain across his chest. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of the whereabouts, please call the Grant County Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the USS Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600. And you can always call the KBI at 785-296-4017. Taking a break from Alex for a while, but it's time to get back to it. At the end of the day, you know, he's still not home.
Yep. And by my count, there's about 5 more.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and go over Angela's now. So Angie Marie Rice went missing from Columbia, Missouri on December 27th, 2021. Angela was last seen in Mexico, Missouri, on the morning of December 27th. Her car was found on New Year's Eve in Rocky Fort Conservation Area, just north of Columbia. Angela is 45 years old. She is 5'7" tall and weighs 120 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Angela's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Boone County Sheriff's Office at 573-442-6131 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol Missing Persons Unit at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 1-866-362-6422. I wish all states had a highway patrol missing persons unit. Maybe we do, but I don't know. I don't see that on many flyers.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Sounds like the person knew her if the money wasn't taken. That's what I'm saying. $500 is $500. You know what I mean? Sitting on the floor there. Yeah, that has to be pretty personal, in my opinion, not to even look in the wallet.
Right.
You're obviously not worried about money. Let's go ahead and talk about Miguel Brown here. Miguel Brown went missing from Kansas City, Missouri on January 22nd, 2022 at 5:30 a.m. Miguel is considered missing, endangered, and has medical issues which require care. Miguel was last seen leaving a residence near 28th and Olive in Kansas City. Miguel is 22 years old, and he is 5'7" tall and weighs 160 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. Miguel was last known to be wearing a black hoodie and blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Miguel's disappearance or if you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department Missing Persons Unit at 816-234-5136 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol Missing Persons Unit at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 1-866-362-6422.
Yep. And quick update. I just was looking at Kansas City, Missouri Police Department's Facebook, and it shows that he has actually been located safe.
Oh, wow. We can get him off the screen then.
So I will have to update him here after bed. Have to.
So we got one more missing person to talk about, and then the rest of the ones we're going to talk about are going to be suspicious deaths.
Okay.
But I'll go ahead and go over this last year. We do have David Michael Bowers Jr. Now, this one has a $750 reward available for information to David's safe return. Now, David Michael Bowers Jr. went missing from Afton, Missouri on September 12th, 2021. David is from Eldon, Missouri, and could possibly be in the areas near Eldon. David is 18 years old. He is 5'10" tall and weighs 120 pounds. He has brown hair and dreads with blonde and green tints and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a white and black hoodie, jeans, and white tennis shoes. David has multiple scars on his arms. He has multiple tattoos, including an eye image on his right thumb and Bart Simpson on his left arm. If you have any information regarding David's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Miller County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 573-369-2341 or call the Missouri State Highway Patrol Missing Persons Unit at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 800-877-3452. Yeah, it looks like there's a reward, $750 for information leading to David's safe return. So, yeah, it's been a little while. September. It's been a little while.
Yeah, it has been. And they know his family's trying to build that reward fund up too.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get that built up.
It's terrible that they even have to do that.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me see. Well, let's go ahead and talk about some unsolved homicides here. Now, we're going to talk about Roberta Mae Klotz. Now, on January 7th, 1987, 30-year-old Roberta M. Klotz put her two daughters and a friend of one of her daughters to bed around 10:30 p.m. When the children woke up the next morning, Roberta was gone. Police believe that Roberta would not have voluntarily left children at home. All of Roberta's personal items, including her medicine, was still in the home. On the morning of Sunday, January 11th, law enforcement did a full search of the mobile home and found Roberta's body hidden there. She had been asphyxiated. Law enforcement believes that Roberta was killed either late January 7th or early January 8th. They believe her body was in the house the whole time. Police believe Roberta was killed while the three children were sleeping in the home. Roberta lived at 125 Maple in Almond Green and White Mobile Home in Great Bend, Kansas with her two daughters. All immediate suspects have been cleared. If you have any information about the case, please contact Crime Stoppers at 1-888-305-1300 or 620-792-1300. That's terrible. She was there the whole time.
Oh, I know. Definitely.
Jeez. 1987.
It's been a long time.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Double T says, how could they have not found her body if it was there the whole time? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Alicia says, that's crazy. You can't be safe in your own home.
Right.
How you doing, Ricky?
Yeah.
Are you doing okay over there, man?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine.
All right, let me go. We got two more cases here to go over. Now we got Waylon Bull coming. Waylon Bull coming was killed in a hit and run in Sealing, Oklahoma on May 27th, 2011. He was 28 years old. Waylon had been hit so hard that he essentially had been dismembered. While his death has been ruled an accident, Waylon's mother has reason to believe that he was hit intentionally or targeted. The area where Waylon was supposedly walking that night is in the middle of nowhere, and he had no real reason to be out there. Authorities have said that they have tracked down several leads, but not any that have gone anywhere. About the only thing definitively known about Waylon's death is that it occurred between 10:30 and 11:15 at night. Waylon's mother, Diane, is desperate for answers. If you have any information regarding Waylon's death, please call Dewey County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office at 580-328-5558. Telling you, Oklahoma, a lot of hit and run deaths. I don't get it. Somebody gets hit by a vehicle and they die, and the state of Oklahoma's like, well, that was an accident. Well, who did it? It doesn't matter. It was an accident. It happens all the time. I can name you 3 people right now that I know. They got ran over, and their police report, the official report, says accidental hit and run. What the hell does that mean, Ricky?
No, I have no idea.
How is it an accident? I understand. I'm not saying put somebody in the slammer, but I mean, investigate it. Your job is to find out who. We're not saying what happened. We obviously see that somebody was hit by a vehicle and they perished, but we want to know who hit them. And we're not, maybe they were drunk. Maybe we got to find out why. And I feel sorry for his mom. And even if her her worst fears are not true, if it was truly an accidental hit and run, I do believe somebody should still be brought to task for hitting somebody and not stopping and going back. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, you got to do better. You got to do better, Oklahoma. All right, so we have the last case here. Did you send me this one? Oh, I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. Do you need me to?
Yeah, send it to. Is it all on here? Yeah, send it to me because I don't have it. I don't have all the information on this flyer. But this one does have a governor's reward of amount of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction to the persons responsible for this crime. And we're going to talk about it here in just a moment. And it's 1995. That's when some of these accidental hit and runs in Oklahoma that I was talking about occurred.
You should have it.
Okay. All right. So she was Gina Bridget Cyphers. She was 24 years old when she had an infant son. By all accounts, Gina Cyphers was a loving mother and a good person. It was December 28th, 1995. Cyphers dropped off her 15-month-old son at daycare. It's a program called Morning Out for Moms at a Salina church. When she didn't return a couple hours later, the daycare called Cyphers' boyfriend at work. He went to the mobile home they shared and found the young woman brutally murdered. A baby was suddenly without a mom, and police were left with a case that has proven to be a tough one. It was a crowded mobile home park in the heart of the city with trailers that were close together. The violence happened sometime between 9 a.m. and noon. Still, 26 years later, Gina Cyphers' murder remains unsolved. Initial newspaper reports said she was stabbed, but police are still keeping a lot of details secret. There have been a lot of leads that have gone nowhere. As a case this old is frustrating, Detective Scott Hodgland said, the community wants to see closure on this. We don't want to see a murderer walk free, and I'm confident an arrest will be made at some point. I can't say when. It could be next week. It could be several years down the road, but I'm confident an arrest will be made at some point. If you have any information on Gina's death, please call Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477 or text SA Tips to Crimes 274-637. Or you can go to www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit your tip. You may receive a cash reward of up to $1,000, and you are not required to give your name or or you can call the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. Again, $5,000 governor's reward being offered for information that will lead to an arrest in this brutal murder.
Yeah. Yep. And my brother was saying, if he remembers correctly, I told him once that SPD had a suspect in mind. I think they do. I don't remember. But not enough evidence to file charges. It has often been said that she knew her killers. There's no evidence of forced entry into the mobile home. The mobile home park has since been demolished, and it still sits as a vacant lot to this day. So there's not even any mobile homes there anymore.
Jeez.
Just a big empty lot.
Matt
Good
Morgan says, I
question.
wonder if they can retest for DNA.
That's a good question.
Trisha's with me, and she said that they left the scene of the accident. It was a crime.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Says someone could have hit him so hard that the damage, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, how can you overlook a dead body? I'm telling you. And we're not being critical of the police. I'm just saying, I think that there's a problem when I can name 4 people in the last 25 years in the state of Oklahoma that were hit by somebody in the middle of the night, and nobody ever found out who hit them, what hit them. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that part of the story. Now, where the problem is nobody's looking for these vehicles. They've all been written off as accidental hit and run. Don't know who did it. So to me, that's a problem, that you have all these families that are like, that's I understand. We understand that, accidents happen, but who ran them over? When you hit somebody, your car has damage. If you hit somebody hard enough to kill them, your car is going to show damage. You're going to know you hit something. Once you leave that area, it's a crime, I think.
Well, the only thing, I've seen some vehicles specifically pickup trucks that's got those push guards on the front of them, you're not going to damage them damn things. Just like them big old semis that's got them big old things on the front grills too to protect the grill. You're not going to damage the front of that thing. So you get hit by one of those things going about 80 miles an hour. Yeah.
But I mean, even if you didn't damage it, even if you were in a semi, when they hit a deer, it's not like they just like they when a semi hits a deer, it's a violent ordeal. It's like it's a 140 or 150 pound person standing there and they get hit by a car going 60, 70 miles an hour. I'm just saying, I find it hard to believe that somebody could hit somebody and not know it, at least not know you hit something.
Right.
And if you didn't notice hitting somebody, then should you have been driving is my question. I could see if you were plastered and you hit somebody and you didn't know about it. Yeah, that makes sense because you were drunk. But I mean, blood might be on the vehicle.
Yeah, there might be blood and tissue on the vehicle. Yeah. That's a definite possibility.
I just think you would know if you hit something. Like you would be like, oh, I think I hit a deer last night. I mean, you would have a story. You were like, yeah, I was driving, everything was going normal, and then boom, I hit something. I just think you would know you hit something. And I don't know.
Trisha was asking, was the park off Cloud Street? Yes, it was actually.
Wow.
Just west of Broadway. Yep.
Well, we're going to go ahead and play Brandon's Located Safe, and we are going to get out of here. But you're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after this. Davey and Broderick. He got away from us after we made the video. We had him.
I saw that.
We had him, but he's gone again.
Like,
yeah. We just reposted him. Yeah. So good show. I'm sure the vehicle was disposed of. I mean, I just think that's a problem. If I can name 4 or 5 people that were, accidentally hit and run, and that there's just no investigation. It's just like, well, it was an accident. We'll go. Oklahoma's bad about that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said last time we were talking about it. I used to work in a tow yard for about 4 or 5 years, and you know the difference when you get home. When you're washing your car, you know what you hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there could be no second guessing that.
Mm-mm.
Yep. Well, hopefully by the time we do the show on the 10th, my voice will be hopefully normal or darn close.
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to make it through this one at least with old Derek backing you up there.
I'm not feeling
It's a good show tonight. Good show.
I'm sweaty from all that reading.
Well, thank you for doing that since my voice was
How do you do it, Ricky?
Yeah, I know. I'm exhausted, man. Ricky reads the whole. I didn't realize how much of it. But you know what, though? I think I should read flyers more often because usually whenever you're reading them all, I'm always doing stuff behind the scene. Like tonight, we've covered some of those flyers so many times, and when I read them, I was just like, wow, that is,
I
it's
find
like,
myself doing the same thing when I make the outstanding cases. I mean, they're cases we've covered many, 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 many times, but until I put it in front of my face and I'm reading it,
right.
It's it changes.
Thank you, North Star. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's another YouTube viewer for us, North Star. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Well, Ricky, we're here a little late. You know what to do to get us out of here, but we will be back on the 10th, you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the week.
You got to be better by then.
That's a week from Thursday.
Give you plenty of time.
Yep. Well, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together to cover some cases tonight, and thank you for helping me work through this COVID stuff. And I pray continue to get better and get through this even more. And hopefully, as we prayed for in the past, these flyers, hopefully they reach the right ears and the right hearts that has the right information to bring these folks home and close these unsolved cases. And we pray these things in your name, Heavenly Father. Amen.
Amen.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.